Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
Saison today.
Saison.
It's hibiscus with some. You have to scooch over here. So with peppercorns and hibiscus.
That's right.
So
peppercorn.
Planning on entering into Blue Bonnet. How do you? What do you think so far?
We'll see. I mean, things are going well so far, right?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't made mistakes, so that's good.
So well. Besides the iodine, but hey.
That's not that big a deal. I mean, that could have been a lot worse. You didn't spill the beer, and that's what matters, right?
That's right. That's all that matters.
So, man, I appreciate you letting me come out and take a look at the place. I really like your setup. I like that it's minimalistic, but it's also very precise. Because that's something that I've come to find that, especially when I moved over to the Grainfather, is to make sure that you get things like numbers matter. More than I thought they did.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you can recover from some numbers being off, but it helps being on. Yeah. Right.
So if we're making a homebrew, we got to drink a homebrew, right?
That's right.
So I haven't tried this one yet. Made the golden stout.
This is your golden stout.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's called the Totem Pole Trench. Are you familiar with what a totem pole trench is?
I know what a totem pole is.
Okay.
Is the trench what it goes in?
Nope. So a totem pole trench. So I always think of the Little Rascals. You know how they stand on top of each other with a trench coat?
That's right.
And they go into the bank. The reason why I called it a totem pole trench is because it's a stout, but when you look at it, you're not going to see a stout.
Ah, okay.
So it's like in disguise. Like a stout in disguise.
I like that. I like that.
It's an adult in disguise or kids in disguise. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No. I remember you had mentioned this to me.
Maybe the name sounds really dumb, but
no. I like it. Do you have that on your label?
Yep. I'll have to show it to you. I'll put it in post.
Because that'll say everything. I mean, you know that picture.
It was a little darker than what I really wanted for a golden stout. And I think it's because I put the coffee.
Bold.
I mean, I put dark roast coffee in it.
Huh.
So it darkened it up a little bit, in my opinion.
It smells great.
Dark roast coffee with some cocoa nibs and some vanilla. I did vanilla extract. I couldn't find vanilla beans.
Right.
It smells bitter to me. It smells real bitter. Maybe that's the coffee coming through.
Yeah, I smell a little of that, but I also smell a lot of sweet.
Yeah. Well, this one came in 8%.
Oh, nice.
Right around. I'd have to look it up exactly, but right around 8% or so.
Great. You're going to get me drunk for the end of the brew day.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens, right? No. So let's try this one out.
All right.
See if we can. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. I get a lot of that dark roast coffee.
I do too. There's a little bite there towards the end.
Yeah.
Is there some pepper in there or something?
No.
I mean,
the hops weren't crazy from what I remember. It's your standard stout kind of hops, but yeah, the added was I did a dark, specifically a dark roast coffee. I did whole coffee beans and not ground coffee.
Okay.
So maybe that's what does it a little bit, and then cocoa nibs.
Man, that is really nice. That's
looking at it. That's not what
really
you'd expect out of it, right?
No. It almost looks like a I don't know, like a darkish, like a wheat that turned dark, or somehow
like a dark wheat.
Yeah.
Or,
maybe
I don't know. And it's the coffee beans that darkened it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. So what was the grain bill?
You're calling me out on stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, I can never remember that stuff.
I have no idea. That's the reason why I write this stuff down, because I have no idea. So
because
this one,
obviously not a lot of no roasted grains, right? No black or dark.
Not as many as you would get in an actual stout, in your traditional stout. I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So this one had. Oop, to go back here. Sorry. So this one, not any roasted malts. Mars Otter, some flaked oats,
Mars Otter.
flaked barley, some crystal. But the Mars Otter was the base malts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I like those.
Little bit of crystal, so it brought up the color just slightly. Then Warrior and Fugal hops.
Oh, nice.
So not anything crazy, but and then the extra fun stuff I put in the.
So what was the total grain bill weight wise? I wonder. Does it say?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, all right. That's how we're getting 8% out.
Yeah.
Out of that.
19 pounds.
That's in a 5-gallon batch. So.
I think this one actually came out to a 6-gallon batch.
Okay. All right.
Didn't mean to do that. Almost boiled over because it was so high. Like, no joke. So it's high, and I'm putting grains in, and it seems to keep rising, and I'm starting to freak out. Yeah, and then even as we were doing it, even then, we put all the cocoa nibs and the coffee beans into the hop spider.
Right.
Hop spider was, even though it was the volume was high, hop spider wouldn't. I needed to put that thing deeper into the water, and it sits on the edge, so I had to rig up something to let it go in the water a little bit. Yeah. That day I spilled stuff everywhere. That day was a day of messes.
Break out the hose at the end.
Yeah, and I had a buddy of mine that had never brewed before that was just wanting to hang out. I'm like, come over and hang out. You can learn some stuff.
That's where the benefit of brewing outside helps.
That's why I brew outside, because I make a huge mess if I don't
have to worry about it.
I mean, granted, with a grain father, you could do it in the kitchen.
Yeah. Right.
But nah, when it's hot like that, I don't know. A part of me just, because I've always brewed outside, makes me cautious to brew inside.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. Well, you went to electric, so it's no big deal.
It shouldn't be a big deal.
No, but you don't have to worry about the gas.
Right.
So.
So this is not bad. I think that if I do it again, I may not do a dark roast. Maybe a medium roast, or maybe even just less coffee. The coffee's pretty strong to me. Yeah,
the coffee's strong, but it's not. It's not unpleasant.
It's not. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's not unpleasant. It's just strong.
It's that's weird that's a little bit. You're not expecting it probably because of the
color.
Because of the color, right? It's this would be one of those that would be interesting to do the blind test with.
Yes.
To try to guess what it is. Nobody'd ever get it.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So
with that, it makes me wonder, because I looked at the stuff for what do you call it, for the Blue Bonnet, and this would qualify as a stout. I don't know if it wouldn't qualify as an English strong ale, because it's strong enough, but it's not the coffee wouldn't qualify it.
No, I don't think so.
I wonder if it's there's a specialty weird.
Yeah, there probably is. There probably
some sort of oddball category.
Well, you could add some fruit extract of some kind to it, and then
throw it in the fruit category.
That actually might be nice.
What would you add though? Some blackberries or something? I don't know why I'm thinking blackberries.
Let's see. What would go with?
I don't know.
What goes with the coffee?
Coffee. I was thinking more floral stuff with coffee. Like if I think of actual coffee itself.
What we're doing,
like a hibiscus in it.
Like do a tea, basically, a really strong tea.
Yeah.
Just add it to a gallon of it
or something. I mean, I've got enough.
See how it turns out. You could test. Just that'd be fun.
I mean, it's only a gallon. Come on, experiment on something. Right. Yeah. So it's not great, but it's not bad. It's not a go-to, and that's because the coffee's way stronger than I wanted it to be.
But not overpowering. It's
No.
It doesn't make me want to put it down and walk away from it. So
no, I mean it's a good sipper for sure.
Yeah.
It carbonated pretty well in the bottles. I think it'll be better out of the keg though. So I'll have to get that keg fully carbonated and have you try it out of that. I bet it'll have a better head.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
How long did you let it condition in the bottle?
Today would have been like 11 days, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I usually do it for 2 weeks, so 2 weeks would have been Monday.
Okay.
I said, a couple days early ain't too bad. I mean, I think I opened that pumpkin ale that I did at 10 days.
Okay.
9 days, because I was getting anxious. I don't want to waste one, but I also don't want to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, don't blame me at all.
I mean, I know you've done that with force carving and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
works like a champ, man. Yeah, it's like, okay, hey, it's done on a Wednesday, and I want to be able to drink this with my friends on Friday, so do the force carving thing, lay it on its side, turn it up super high, shake it for 15 minutes.
Do like 15 pounds or like?
No, you like turn it up to 30.
Oh, geez.
And then you just rock it back and forth for like 10 minutes.
Really?
And then when you're done with that, you basically all you have to do. I mean, you could do it one night, like that night. You could leave it at 30, just upright in the kegerator, so it cools down and it takes the CO2 faster, right? And then the next morning, purge it, set it down to the, what you typically would serve it at, and let it sit for another day or two, and it's ready to drink.
Really?
Man. Oh yeah.
Oh, I need to try that one day.
It works.
Really?
Now, don't do what I did. Like maybe the second time I got a little lazy. I did that. I went through that whole process, but instead of leaving it overnight at the higher pressure, I left it for like a week.
Oh, so it came out like
it was foamy. It was foamy it took 2 weeks to.
Oh no!
Settle down.
I had that with that porter at the end of that keg. It was the last, I want to say, gallon was like pure foam, and it was I was like, I don't know. I mean, I purged it, and it was
the porter
like
was like that. Wouldn't expect that, huh?
The end of it was like that last gallon, I want to say, was pretty foamy.
Huh.
And I'm like, temperature. I mean, I haven't turned it up or down, but it had been in the keg for a while, so I don't know if it like gets extra carbonation while it's sitting in the keg for 2 months, 3 months.
I wouldn't think so. I mean,
I think it'd been there for like 6 months actually.
You have it down at serving pressure. It shouldn't get.
Yeah, like 4 psi maybe.
Yeah, that shouldn't cause it to get foamy. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so, but that one was foamy while that. I mean, I have it on the same line. That's foamy while that brown ale's coming out just fine. So I have no idea. Beers are weird, dude. It depends on all the stuff that's in it.
Can be.
But man, so you got to tell me. So this is called Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. So this. So my brew controller. Let's start.
Go ahead and restart this because we're gonna do that. Doing a 90-minute boil on this. Just gonna be added a little bit extra, so I had to restart this back to 60 minutes.
Our volume was a little high, so we wanted to.
Yeah, so like it was like 13 gallons almost. Maybe a little over that.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be 12, and it was like right at 13.
Yeah. So something like that. Okay. So a little extra boil, no big deal. Worst case, we get a little extra ABV.
Right.
And who's mad at that?
Not me. Yeah. But yeah, so it's a craft beer pie system. So it's based on a Raspberry Pi, and basically all I have is the Raspberry Pi is the controller.
Yeah.
And craft beer pie is a open source Linux based program that is fairly stable. I've had minimal issues with it, but it's kind of a budget high-end control system. I kind of like it for that. And that it's a web browser based once you get it all set up, and so I can go in here and actually control the temperature and
I mean, seeing it here, seems great. It works really well. It keeps temperature with stuff. It regulates it. It lets you turn on and off all your elements and stuff. So
yeah, no, it's very straightforward. I mean, there's a few little things that aren't well documented as far as, well, how does this work? And so I just end up not using those things.
Right.
But to me, I kind of like building my own stuff anyway. I like tinkering.
That hands-on approach, yeah.
So, I started this thinking I would save money,
right.
over buying a complete system. And I was totally wrong. But probably end up spending about the same amount.
Everybody says in order to convince the wife, and when it starts to home brewing, even just getting into it in general, you go, oh, I'm going to save money. It's less money. I'm going to save money on beer.
Right.
And then after all the stuff you buy for equipment and you want to start doing different kinds of beer, you don't end up saving money.
No, not at all.
You just end up having a lot more fun.
Well, my justification for this was to get it out of the kitchen, right?
Ooh, yeah.
The wife was like, I'm so tired of especially she hated the hops. She hated the mash. I don't know how she could hate the mash, but
I think it smells so good.
It smells like baking bread. How does that not good? But I'm like, hey, well, I can get this out of here.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna have to do.
Right. We're gonna have to upgrade some stuff.
Well, let me know how much it's gonna cost. And then of course I figure it out and I come with a number, and it ends up being about twice that by the end. But
hey man, it's the little stuff that you don't realize.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I found with any project that I've ever done. It's the big stuff I budgeted for, but it's the little extra stuff here and there that you forget the budget for, because it's little stuff.
Right. Or it's like you thought you could do it this way and you didn't realize you actually needed that component that's more expensive. Or whatever.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I gotta be honest. I'm impressed with the system. It works really well. Honestly, until I started using the grain father and seeing that kind of regulated, like kind of help you out and take you through that step and make sure all the numbers are precise, like that kind of system, I didn't know what I was missing.
Right.
So I wouldn't do a brew without it. I understand everybody doing it on the stove, and you got to start somewhere, and I'm grateful that I started, honestly, with as caveman style as I did.
Yeah.
Now I feel like, I don't know, like those, like, leave it and forget it, like pellet smoker guys. And I'm not mad at it at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's...
consistency is key, and that's what it's helping with.
Well, I think it helps, starting out at the very basic level.
Yeah.
Later on, you can look back to that and remember, it reminds you that it doesn't have to be as complex as we make it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we overcomplicate things, thinking everything's got to be just perfect, like you mentioned before. Right. And actually, you can get away with a lot of things and end up with drinkable and actually often very good beer. So,
honestly, everything I've ever brewed has been drinkable. And I'm not saying that in the fact that it's like been halfway decent. It's all been good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's been great, but it's all been good.
I used to be able to say that.
Oh, come on. Come on. Some of those were good. I liked that lager was good.
Yeah.
That IPA was pretty good. I mean, you didn't think so, but I thought it was all right. But I don't mind like super, super hoppy beers.
Well, and that's just something I need to work on, right?
Right. That's okay.
Sort out, right?
You live and learn, and you figure it out. Yeah.
No doubt.
But man, I appreciate you letting me come out and check this one out. We're gonna have to do more brews here.
No, this anytime, man. I love it.
Sweet. So I can't wait for this one to be done. Yeah. One, so I can drink it, but two, I'm gonna see what I can do to enter in as many beers as I can into Blue Bonnet.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. First time for me.
Yeah.
You talked me into it.
Get a true professional to actually critique it. Well, I mean, personally, I thought that wit that you did was so good that I said there's no reason why you shouldn't enter that in. I'm glad you had two bottles left.
Yeah, we got 2 bottles, barely. But
hey, that's the minimum you have to have. So
I'll enter it. Why not?
Dude, it's that good. And when you brought it out to that cookout over at Brian's, everybody liked it.
Like I said, even my sister liked it, who hates beer. So
right, people that aren't into craft beer thought it was good because you did a phenomenal job. So has to do with your expertise and maybe the system as well.
And I probably got lucky a little bit.
Oh, come on.
To be honest.
It's not all about luck, it's about skill. Come on, you got to be
I mean, confident. At this level, it's hard to do. The hardest thing is once you get to a point where you do a great beer like that, and then you decide, okay, I want to do it exactly the same way again.
Right. It's consistency, yeah.
It's consistency. So staying consistent because, that beer tasted the way it did because the mash ended up being at a certain temperature for a certain period of time. And I may have had a extra beer or two by that point.
Right.
So I'm not sure if I recorded that perfectly, but you know how that goes, right? It's like, well, instead of I think it was supposed to be 151 Fahrenheit, and maybe it was 149, or maybe it was a little higher.
Right.
Whatever. So that'll affect. I mean, little things like that will affect it.
So with that being said, are you planning on doing that beer again in the summertime or something?
Oh yeah, I'm going to do it in the spring probably.
It's like I
be
would
ready
say
for summer.
The best beer that I think personally that I've brewed was that pumpkin ale.
That was good.
I'm going to try to do that one again next fall. So we're going to see again consistency. How consistent can we keep it?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And in fact,
I'm glad I've had what I would say is your best beer, so we can see how consistent it stays.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. In fact, I'm making a couple of tweaks to it probably.
Are you? I'm going to try to change nothing. I have I think I have 3 bottles left at home. I'm going to save one of them so I can try to do them back to back. Good. I didn't do that on purpose.
No, but now that you're thinking about it, that's good.
I'm going to save one now. Yeah, for sure.
You're not going to enter those into Blue Bonnet? Put them in the fruit category.
I could enter in 2 of them. I don't know. So like this is the thing. I don't know if I told you this. So when I bottled that. I bottled a few of them, and then that one we bottled all of it.
Yes.
Because we ended up putting some of it into that mini keg.
Right.
And I put some of them. I put 32 ounces into those swing top growlers I have. Mm-hmm. Well, I took them to Nebraska. I took that one, and I took the brown ale and the swing top 32 ounces. I conditioned them in there, so I carbonated it in the bottle. Got it to Nebraska. The brown ale was fine. The pumpkin ale, though, I guess in the back of my trunk, I had it packed in with all my gear because I don't have a very big trunk. Yeah. But it popped open.
Oh.
So it was flat.
Oh, it didn't spill, did it?
Wasn't. I mean, very little. Spilt out of it, but it was. Yeah, it was flat and it wasn't any good. And so my brother hasn't tried it yet. So he's coming in town for Christmas. So I kind of want him to try it. Yeah. But now that you say I need to enter it in, I might enter it in instead. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Yeah.
Dang, you're getting me questioning things. Because a part of me wants to save one so that I can compare it next year.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a great idea.
So you think if I do enter in 2 and save one?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I might.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Unless you have time to brew it again.
I don't.
Yeah.
Because the one that me and my brother are supposed to do is which he's never brewed either, so it's going to be a first time for him.
Oh, cool.
Doing a peach wheat. So if I have time to enter in that one, I will, which honestly...
You could.
But the thing is, it goes, doing the peaches, I might have to do that in a secondary. Would you add the peaches at the end of the boil? That's not going to do too much.
Yeah.
You really want it to kind of sit and steep in the fruit, don't you?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do it, right? I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. And I don't have a lot of experience doing the flavors like that. I'm trying to, I'm that kind of guy that I'm trying to get a good base beer.
Right.
You're more adventurous than I am when it comes to flavors and stuff.
Yeah. I like weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
I have an idea in my mind and I say, this shoe sounds good in a beer, and then sometimes it comes out and it tastes great. Sometimes I'm like, it's okay, I guess.
Well, I think there's some variability depending on what you're putting in, right? Yeah. So for example, I've put orange in a beer before. I did a light beer with orange and grated some rind in there,
Right.
and you know, squeezed it in. And no, I'm sorry, I said orange. I meant lime.
Lime.
It came out
okay.
extremely
Yeah.
limey, but I mean, super fresh tasting. It was.
Yeah.
It blew me away drinking that one. But I don't know if peaches would react the same way. I think in a boil, boil.
I've only done it. So me and Larry did a peach wheat a while back. I don't even know what the grain bill was for that. I couldn't tell you. It was probably a kit.
And y'all did it in the secondary?
So we did fermentation. Like when we put it in the fermenter, like we just threw peaches into the fermenter with it.
Right.
Like basically just put peaches in the I guess our primary fermentation.
Okay.
And just fermented it with the peaches.
Well, and
Which
so,
honestly, now that I think about it, why the hell did I not just do that now?
Right.
Why do I need to put a secondary?
So
like now that I think about it, I don't know why the hell I would even do a secondary. Why not I just put them into the primary?
And you can always just filter that out. You know, when you're going into the keg, you filter everything, all the crud out.
I mean, now that I have that conical fermenter,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Makes it
especially
easy.
if I put puree in it, it's got like a little bulb at the bottom of it that I can take out the yeast cake, because it'll settle at the bottom, the puree will, so just dump out the puree into that little bulb, and
That's perfect, man. I think.
I might, you know what, now, I'm glad we're talking about this, because I'm thinking about doing
Sometimes
that
it
now.
helps. But you could do a lot of different things to get a peach flavor into it,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah, if you put it in primary, here's the thing. Those sugars, some of those sugars from the peaches are going to be able to be
Turn in alcohol.
turned into alcohol.
So it'll
alcohol.
be higher than what I originally
yeah.
expect. Yeah.
So I don't know how you figure that in if it's going in at the.
I mean,
I'm
I
sure there's a
figure
way.
you would just check original gravity like normal, and then just check final gravity. Final gravity is going to
Right.
be higher than what you would normally expect because you're adding the extra sugars into it.
Right.
I mean, would that not? I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but
Well, my only thought is if it's not in the boil where it mixes nicely, you know, real thoroughly,
yeah.
you know, my question would be, is it truly mixed in and part of the, I don't know what you call it, the, you know, part of the overall
Yeah.
volume, right? That level of sugar. I don't know.
It's a good thing I'm not
That's
selling it.
interesting. Yeah, right.
Yeah, otherwise you got to get more precise, I guess.
Right.
But TABC would want to know how that works.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, what they require as far as, I mean, how accurate does it have to be?
Right.
You know, if you're
right.
selling it. I have no clue.
Right. Yeah, I'm not
Jeremy
sure
can
either.
tell us, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, right. But I think I'm gonna do that. Just add it to the primary, because if I add it to the primary, it might be. What's up?
Got a 903 Christmas.
Oh, nice. but it might be ready if I do it in the primary. Add the puree to like a primary.
I think so.
I think I might do that now that I can just let that stuff off.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
well, again, man, I appreciate you letting me come out and do a beer with you. We'll hopefully we do well and everybody likes it.
Oh yeah.
We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But
First Saison.
yeah,
Saison.
Saison.
I still screw that up.
No
every
idea.
now and then. No, I think it's Saison is the where you're supposed to pronounce it.
Right.
I still screw it up and say
So,
Saison. I don't know
yeah.
why.
So with Saisons, though, I got to ask you real quick before we get out of here is I've had some Saisons that I can actually. Probably if I'm playing that blind beer game, I might get confused with a sour. Have you had some Saisons that are a little tart?
Yeah.
I've had some Saisons that are really dry.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Saison is a name for beer.
Well,
And you can have like 1,000 different flavors, 1,000 different profiles.
It's a very artistic category, right?
Yeah.
It's very broad. It's as far as you know, for like additional fruit ingredients, things like that. It's okay. Sour or not is okay, which is weird. You would think if it was sour, it would be
a sour
with sours.
or goes or something.
But no, it's. But I know they're all generally dry.
Yeah.
That's part of the description. But the rest of it is all. It's very broadly
up to
defined.
interpretation.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be a tough one to judge.
Right.
Thinking about those judges, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that it's all personal preference.
Yeah. Ultimately,
When it comes to this, I think some other things it's more like, hey, how well is this done to style? Maybe a little bit easier.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm glad we picked this one.
Yeah.
It's been fun to do. and I'm sure it'll turn out great.
I've always liked
everything else.
I've always liked Saisons, and so I've always wanted to do one. So this is great. Appreciate you inviting me.
No, come on.
To brew together for the competition.
Might as well collab because we get double the entries, right?
Right. There you go, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yep. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Available, and this stuff is amazing. We've got a few awesome designs. We even have all new pint glasses and stickers. You know you want one of those glasses. I mean, you already drink a beer while watching the show anyway, so you might as well support the show and put your beer in one of our glasses. The link is in the description, so hit that link and pick up something from us today. Make sure that you use the code DUDES10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Again, that's DUDES, D-U-D-E-S, 10, the number 10, 10, at checkout to receive 10% off of your order. We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on, we're on there. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps within these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. We like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.